Hello students, we are back with Entrepreneurship. We are on Unit 2, Entrepreneur Planning, Part 4. In this video, we are going to study about joint stock company, form of the companies, that is private, public, and the steps for the formation of the company. So let's get started. Joint stock company is a voluntary association of individuals for profit. That means if the people are coming together and joining their hands, that is for the profit. Having capital divided into transferable shares means the money that they are investing, that is the capital, that capital is divided into small parts and each part is called shares. These shares have their face value and that is being paid by the people who want to be the owner of it. That's the reason it is said the ownership of which is the condition of membership. Right? As per the Companies Act 2013, a company means a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or under any of the previous company law. Section 2, subsection 20. Let's first understand the characteristic of a company. The first characteristic of the company is it's a voluntary association. When I'm saying voluntary association, it means willingness. There is no force from anyone. So a company is a voluntary association of two or more, means there can be minimum of two people required to start up the company. They all come together freely and willingly to form a company. Even a single person company can also be there in a certain cases as per the Companies Act 2013. Moving to the next is artificial person. See, company is created by the law. So, although the company is not a human being, it's not having any body, neither it has its own mind, but still its existence is same as a person. How? See, as per the Company Act, if a company is being formed, that means this artificial person is being formed, then there can be the contract of buying and selling. That means the company can buy, sell anything on its own name. It can has its own property and even it can file a case against anyone on its own. So that's the reason it is called artificial person, as it is created by the law. Moving to the third is separate legal entity. See, because the company has an entity or personality which is absolutely independent and separate from entity of its member. This implies that the company cannot be held liable for the action of its member, and neither the members will be liable for the action of the company. Moving to the fourth, we have common seal. Common seal, see, if it's a human being, a person can make a signature that reflects your presence, your approval for any document. Now, because a company is an artificial person, so it also needs certain evidence for its approval, and that's for reason there is an engraved common seal on the name of a company that is being made. If any of the document is related to that company, that particular seal should be there. See, if you remember in your school receipt, when you pay the fee, there is a school common seal that is being made on it. Even you can see it on your library books, in which the school seal can be seen. So that seal is telling us that school is also an artificial person that is created by law, right? Moving to the next is limited liability. See, the liability of the person or the members of the company is limited to the amount that they have not paid on that share. I just take an example and make you understand. Suppose the share face value is rupees 10. Now, as a member who has purchased that shares have paid 6 rupees. The only part that member is liable is the rest of the 4 rupees that is unpaid. So the person or the members who are in the company are having the liability limited to their shares. Moving to the next is transferability of shares. When I'm saying transferability of shares, see, we have commonly two types of companies, that is private company and a public company. When I'm saying public company, the transferability of shares means you can change the ownership of the shares very easily. But in private company, it is restricted. So you can easily transfer the ownership of the shares to anyone. If you want that money to be back, you can sell off. Moving to the next is diffusion of ownership and the management. See, in this form of organization, there exists a separation of ownership from the management. The reason is the shareholders, who are the owners, are scattered throughout. It can be throughout the world also, right? But the management has to be there where the company is. So the shareholders appoints the directors, and these directors are the one who manages the company. So there is a diffusion of ownership and the management. So the directors are the one who take care of day-to-day activities of the company. Moving to the number of members that are required. So if I move with a private company, there is minimum of 2 and the maximum is 200. That is being set. And if I go with the public company, minimum of 7 and the maximum of, there is no limit. There is no limit. There can be n numbers of members in public company. Whereas I'm talking about the limitation of action. The scope of a company is determined by the Indian Company Act 2013. Whatever is being prescribed, written in Indian Company Act 2013, that has to be followed, strictly followed by the company. The memorandum of association is the basic thing on the basis of which a company runs. And the article of association is defining the relationship of the company with its members. See, when I'm saying memorandum of association, it's defined the relationship of company with the outer world. Whereas article of association defines the company's relation with the members of it and how it is going to be run. When it comes to the winding up, see, because it was been born by the law, it will be wind up by the law. There is a systematic way how it is going to be wind up. Actually, it's a perpetual succession. That means the member can come, a member can go. There will be no effect on the company. Only when it is systematically winded up as per the law, it will get wind up. So this is the characteristic of joint stock company. We have the forms of company, that is private company and public company, just recently I mentioned. So when I'm going about with the private company, there is a requirement of minimum of 2 members, maximum 200 members. There is a restriction on the right of transfer of shares for the members. That means the members cannot transfer their shares, sell off, or even transfer the name to anyone else. It is being restricted. And there is restriction even for the invitation to the public for any sort of security. See, when I'm saying securities, it means shares, debentures, deposits. It can be anything, but it means the company, private company, cannot ask the public to give the money. Minimum paid up capital, there is 1 lakh rupees. And to identify it, you have private limited written at the end of the name. So this gives you the idea that it is a private company or it's a public company. Minimum directors appointed here is 2. Moving to the next, we have public company. When a business enterprise are owned, controlled and operated by public authority with welfare as a primary and profit as a secondary goal, they are called as public sector enterprise. See, normally when it comes to the welfare, government involvement is must. That's the reason we can say either the government is owning whole or part of the company, right? So we can say either the whole or most of the investment in this undertaking is done by the government. It can be a central government, it can be a state government. This enterprise have the following forms of organization. First is departmental undertaking. See, it is full-fledged government control, government working and get the resources from government treasury, like we have defense. Next is public corporation like SBI, LIC, FCI, that is partially be working for the government. Whereas when I'm saying government companies, here the involvement of private people are also there, like Bharat Petroleum Resources, along with the government investment involved. The characteristic form, we have minimum of 7 members required and maximum there is no limit to the membership. They have the members, the owners of the company has the right to transfer their shares. The public company will invite the subscription from the public. That is, they are going to get their money, the capital formation by invitation given to the public in the form of prospectus, and through that they will get shares, debentures or deposits. It can be anything. Minimum paid up capital is 5 lakh. If you want to identify, just when you see the name of it, at the end of it, you will find limited word written. And the minimum directors that will be appointed will be 3 directors. Moving to the next is the privilege that a private company has over the public company. See, a private company just have 2 members requirement, whereas in public you need 7 people. In private, 2 directors are enough for a valid meeting. Any valid activities to be performed for the company, it can be done. Whereas in public company, you need minimum of 3 directors. The private company can start, that means commence its business just after the incorporation, that is the registration. But whereas a public company cannot, they have to go for capital subscription, and then after, when the things are satisfied, they will be getting the commencement certificate. Then only they will be able to start. So a private company can start after 2 steps, whereas a public company has to cover 4 steps to start. Whereas when I'm talking about non-members cannot inspect the financial statement, that is the private company's financial statement, profit and loss, balance sheets, it cannot be inspected or seen by any other members, outsider members, right? But when I'm talking about public company, they have to print an annual report, give to all the members, and even the non-members can also inspect its financial statements. There is no restriction on appointment or reappointment of directors in a private company. As the number is fixed to 200 as a maximum members, that's the reason the private company do not have to maintain the index of members. There is no compulsion for the directors to have a qualifying shares, the way it is there in public company. Moving to the next is the step to commence a company in India. That means how I can start a company in India. Mainly, it is having 4 steps. First, the promotion. Second, incorporation. Third, capital subscription. Fourth, commencement of business. So, let's first with the first step. First step is promotion. See, first thing, the one who is interested to have a business will identify the business opportunities. It can be the product, it can be the service, it can be anything, but they are going to identify the opportunities that is prevailing around. They are the one who are first coming up with the idea to start a company. In the same, the second step is taken as a feasibility study. That means they are going to study whatever opportunity they are identifying it, whether it is possible in three terms, that is technical, financial or economical factors. See, when I'm saying technical, whether the technology required, the machinery required will be available to me as per my product or not. See, it may be a condition that you required it, but it cannot be arranged. Then your idea is failed. So first the technical part is seen. Then financially, how much amount is required, whether you will be able to arrange that money or not, that is being seen. And the third feasibility is economic feasibility. Feasibility means possibility. So economic means it should be a profitable venture, not just an average profit venture. It should be a good profit venture. The reason is why I am coming up with a business. I want a profit. So it is very important to go through this feasibility test before getting into the formation of a company. Then when I am through with this three tests, I will go and go to the registrar for the name approval. See, for everything you need to have the name of it. Even when a child gets the birth, you have to give a name to him. The same way the company is going to get the birth. So there you have to give the name to it. Normally, three names are being selected by the promoters and given to the registrar. Out of this three names, the one that is not common to anyone is being selected by the registrar and given to the promoters. Now with this name, they are going to frame all the documents. So for the fourth step, they are going to fix the signatory, the one who is going to be the first director, who is going to sign the important document that is called Memorandum of Association. Then after it, then the appointment of professionals are done, like bankers, auditors, lawyers. The reason, see, you need to have proper all formalities to be fulfilled. There should not be any problem in framing the documents, and for that you need the professionals. So you need the lawyers, the CAs who are going to help you out to frame the documents. The document that has to be framed out as per your requirement before the registration is Memorandum of Association, Article of Association. These two documents are very, very important, that has to be framed very carefully, and that's the reason a helping hand of the professional is taken. Moving to the next is the step is the incorporation. Now what happens in incorporation? You are ready with your document. With this document, you prepare an application for registering your company, right? So the promoters, they will write the application, and along with the important documents that I just said, like Memorandum of Association, Article of Association, Statement of Authorized Capital, Concerned or Proposed Director, Agreement with the Proposed Managing Director, Statutory Declaration. See, all these documents are mandatory before the registration. So along with the application, these documents are attached, and as per the authorized capital. As per the authorized capital. Authorized capital is the maximum amount to which a company is going to issue the shares or get the money from the public. So according to the maximum authorized capital, the fee is decided, and that fee along with the application, important document, it is given to the registrar. Then the registrar takes the document, verifies it, and after to it gives the certificate of incorporation. Now when I'm saying certificate of incorporation, when it comes to a private company, they can start their working from that day itself. But when it comes to the public limited company, the next step that they have to follow is the arrangement of capital. See, in a private company, there is a 200 people, all will contribute the money. They don't have to look for the members. Whatever the number of members they are having, they are the one who is going to put the capital. So they don't have to search for the people for the capital that is required for the starting up of the business. But in public company, you need to arrange for the fund. So for that reason, we have the third step, that is capital subscription. Now, when I'm saying capital subscription, it also have a stages. First, I have to take the approval from SEBI, that is Security Exchange Board of India. That is a very important body that regulates the capital market. You first need to get the approval from there. You give you all your important documents there. You get the approval. Then after to it, you prepare the prospectus. Now what is this prospectus? Prospectus is an important document that helps the investors. See, it's like an invitation card, but invitation card needs to be very attractive. And along with the invitation card, there is an application. So here the prospectus is like a invitation card, a very attractive one that is stating each and everything that is there in the company. Then from the directors to the bankers, the CAs, the working, everything is mentioned in it. And along with it, there is an application. So to work on it, you need to appoint the bankers, the brokers, the underwriters who are going to take care of the application that is being received by the company. It has to be taken care of that the company receive with the IPO, that is initial public offer, minimum of 90% of whatever is being subscribed. 90% why it is required is they have to start a company. So the amount that is required, minimum amount that is required for starting, that is 90% of the issued amount. So they cannot start before it. If they are able to get 90% subscription or above, then they will be permitted to go ahead. Otherwise, they have to return back the amount. Then after receiving the subscription, that is application of 90% plus, the promoters, they go with this applications, they go to stock market and even to the registrar, showing it to the registrar regarding the things that is they have received the application that is required, minimum application that is required. And now with this, they can allot the shares to the shareholders, and this list of shareholders is now submitted to the registrar. After submitting this list of the shareholders, the registrar issues the certificate of commencement of business. That is a 4th step. Here, you need to give the registrar a declaration that 90% of the issued amount has been subscribed. Second, a declaration that all directors have paid in cash in respect of allotment of shares made to them. See, the directors have to go for the qualifying shares in public limited company. So it has been paid by them, that has to be informed to the registrar. And the third is statutory declaration that above requirement has been completed and must be signed by all the directors, right? Especially the one who has been assigned as a signatories. Normally, the important document that we see in the company formation is Memorandum of Association, Article of Association, and Prospectus. So with this, we are able to start the company. Thank you for watching the video. We'll meet next with a business plan.